The autumn wind is a pirate.
What's up, everyone? This is another episode of Mrradillo's World. I am back with another episode. This time it's going to be another Raiders talk. So if you're not interested in the Raiders, you don't have to watch this one. No, but please watch it. Please. I've been enjoying doing all these podcasts, and it's been a bit since I've done a sports one. I did at the beginning of the season, and I want to kind of revisit those predictions. Like an imbecile, I bought into the hype of the Raiders this season. And they've let me down thoroughly. Currently, they are sitting at 2-7. I think that's a record. Wait, let me, because it may be even worse. Raiders record. Yeah, we're sitting at 2-7 at the bottom of the AFC West, and I want to kind of go over some of their rank and a couple of stats. And I really want to talk about like Pete Carroll. I want to talk about Chip Kelly. I don't even know if they make it another year. But let's talk about some of these stats. Okay, so points, their offensive rankings. So they're 31st in points out of 32 teams. They're averaging 15.4 points a game. Abysmal. The highest paid offensive coordinator is just garbage. This Pete Carroll, garbage. Chip Kelly, garbage. Like, I don't know what's going on, because even if you think about it, like, they drafted Ashton Genty, okay, 6th overall, and then they just go away from him midway into the game. Like, he starts doing really well, then he gets a couple stuffs, and then they stop throwing it. Geno Smith throws an interception, right? That's kind of the game plan of the Raiders. Geno Smith's thrown 12 interceptions. He leads the league in turnovers. That's crazy. That's crazy. So our rushing yards, okay, we drafted Ashton Genty, and apparently this offensive line is trash. Or maybe the coaching staff is not great with the offensive line. And they brought in Alex Kappa, and they keep trying to force him in. They made JPJ compete for a job while no one else. They moved him from his position of center to guard, and then placed our left guard at center. And like, it's been terrible. And it seems like there's a personality conflict with the coaching staff and JPJ. So I don't know what's going on, right? But this offense has been trash. And they've looked good in a couple of games. Like the Patriots game, they were looking legit. We were looking like, okay, we got this game off right, because we started off hot, first game of the season, right? And then the Jaguars game. That was a really great game by Brock Bowers and Ashton Genty, right? Okay, so our total offense, or passing yards, is 27th out of 32. 185.2 yards per game. Geno Smith has been terrible this season. Like, I'm not one to like advocate us continuously switching regimes, but it seems like, and if Pete makes it to year 2, like, it's just hard for me. He's a 70-year-old coach, right? And his whole plan is to bring in veterans and then not play the rookies. Like, either we're punting for the season or we're competing. But how much competing can we do? We're 2-7. And yes, you could say a ball goes this way, a ball goes that way. Maybe more W's on the season. But in reality, they haven't deserved to win, because they've been playing like trash. Total offense is 31st, 139 total offensive plays. Jeez Louise, let's see what the defense is. Okay. They have a turnover differential of -4. Rushing yards per game, 87.4. That's just horrendous. Let's see where the defense ranks. Okay, let's see. We're using AI here. Okay, so the defensive rank for points per game is they're tied for 20th. Okay, that's middle of the pack there. They're better than 12 teams, but 19 teams are better than them. Yards per game, they're 26th in the league. Okay, so obviously the defense has had its issues as well. Like they've been blown out a couple times, right? But and this is my thing. People always like blame the defense. Like if the defense is on the field the entire game, right, and the offense isn't doing anything, like to me that's more of an offensive problem, and you can tell by the offensive numbers that the offense has been trash. Honestly, if I was GM here, or if I was president of football operations like Tom Brady, I'd be cleaning house. I'd get these guys out of here. Pete Carroll, what? Like, obviously, like, he was a Super Bowl coach, right? But obviously, it's not working here in the Raiders. Chip Kelly has been laughable, and his play calls are garbage. Okay, garbage. And honestly, like, I'm being hyperbolic because what was game? Broncos game, that was just trash. But the Jaguars game was really good. So I don't know. And it seemed like they just force things. Geno Smith is forcing the ball, and that's why we have 12 interceptions. It's just been really horrendous. So I'm not even sure who makes it. Our biggest issue on the offense is probably the offensive line. But if we knew that going in, why do we make the 0 moves, right? And why not? And why be in this like this whole thing of like we're gonna compete now? I hate that. If coaches were just honest, like, and I think this is why like I liked Gruden, because he was honest and he punted on that first season. Yes, things may have not turned out completely well, right? And obviously there was some sabotage from the NFL. I'm looking at you, Roger Goodell, but there was steady improvement, right? Yes, there was blowouts and things of that nature. Like no coach is perfect, right? But you seen that he was like, okay, we're not going to compete with this specific roster. Let's sell some people, get better, and build up, right? I can accept a rebuild. Like, I don't need to blow smoke up my butt that we're good. If we're not good, make that assessment, right? Like, that was the thing with Josh McDaniel, right? He brings in Devontae Adams with Derek Carr and then sells Derek Carr the next year for nothing, right? And then we end up shipping Devontae Adams the next season with Antonio Pierce, right? Honestly, I would have rather had Antonio Pierce at this point because at least those teams were competitive. This team is abysmal. And we're not even like playing the rookies, right? We're slowly having them compete because we want more veterans. We signed Tyler Lockett because he's familiar with Geno Smith. These are just garbage moves that have no clear line to the future. What do we have to look hopeful for? Is Pete going to draft a quarterback next year? We need one, but is he going to do it? He's so in love with Geno Smith, he's not even critical of him ever. Guy's throwing 12 picks, and he's like, oh, Geno's not the problem. Like, bro, Geno's the problem. Offensive line's the problem. You have your son coaching the offensive line. What are you doing? What are you doing, Pete? This compete garbage is liberal and garbage, okay? It's liberal and garbage. I want some tough-nosed football, okay? I want to put pain on people. I want, like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, that sounds weird. Oh, but like, I don't know what we're doing. I bought the hype. It's my fault. I was too optimistic for how I thought this team was going to go. And if you look on paper, like our offense is decent. Like we had Jacoby Myers. We traded him away, which we probably should have done at the beginning of the season. If that's what we planned on doing, we probably would have got more value, right? They got a 4th round pick, I think, and a 6th round pick. Is that what it was? I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'll double check myself as well. And we saw Brock Bowers, but he was hurt, and they were trying to play him while he was hurt. Like Ashton Genty, like they're just taking the confidence away from him. You know what I mean? Like he gets hit immediately back to the line, but they don't stick with the run, right? They try to do other stuff, and Geno throws 6 picks, and then we're down by 30. And so they're not going to try to run anymore. But like, it seems like Ashton Genty is a legit running back, but he needs volume. You need to keep feeding him. And it seems like he's going to get better as the game progresses, right? But the geniuses who are running this team, like, seem to just suck. And I don't know what the problem is. Like, I don't know if there's a fix to always keep the Raiders sucking. But it seems like that's what consistently happened over the entirety of my life. we've had a couple playoff teams. I think it was 2016. We went to the playoffs, sucked. And then I think it was, what was it, 2020 with Rich Bisaccia? I can't remember. But we went to the playoffs with Derek Carr. Had a chance to beat Joe Burrow, who actually went to the Super Bowl that year. Like, right? But the last one before that was Gruden in 01, and then we traded him, lost him to the Super Bowl with the Bucs. You know what I'm saying? Like, this team has been garbage. The decisions have been garbage. I don't know why they keep making the wrong decisions. Right? And Al was making those decisions, and now his son's making those decisions. Right? And it's not like we've been awesome during those times. Like we were in the 70s and 80s, right? But the 90s, we were competitive. Early 2000s competitive, but then it's been garbage, straight dumpster fire. I am a fan of this team. I'll be a fan of this team. I'll raise my son to be a fan of this team. But it seems like there's a fix. I don't know if there's I don't want to say there's point shaving here with the Raiders organization, but that's what it seems like. It seems like they choose to suck. Or maybe there's just bad leadership in this organization. There's no accountability. And then we just fire people, and then it's just this consistent cycle of garbage. I don't know. I don't know how to fix it. What's his name? John Spytek. It seems like he actually drafted well. We got kudos from people. We got a lot of rookies, but they're not starting. And if we're trying to like be competitive and like for last place is the most ignoramus thing I've ever heard in my life. Put the rookies in. Yes, they're gonna suck because they're rookies, right? That's fine. I'm cool with learning if we're building on something for the future. But it seems like Pete is focused on the present, right? And honestly, defense is the least of our issues, but they've also been bad too, right? Like they have Max Crosby in like some different spots than previously. I think he's like taking more coverage. He's kind of leaner. And I don't know if he's been as effective. He's still Mad Max, so he's obviously going to continue to be a beast, right? And I don't know. Like, I'm not in the building. I could be totally blowing smoke, and I probably am. But from when watching every week, like, there's a difference. There's a difference in how he's being used. There's a difference in this entire defense, right? Like, but then there's bright spots on the defense. There's bright spots on the offense in 2 games out of 9. Right? But 7 games, it's been horrendous. It's just been terrible. And I don't know what to do. Like, obviously, what can I do? I'm a fan here talking junk to a camera. I'm in my room by myself. But like, we obviously need some people on the defense. We need probably a D tackle. We had Christian Wilkins, but apparently he was kissing dudes in the locker room. Like, I don't know. I don't know what's going on with this team. Like, it seems if it's not one thing, it's another. It's dysfunction. It's pure dysfunction. We're 2-7, and I'm hoping we don't win in any other games, but we'll probably win 3 more games, right? In this rest of the season, and we'll end up 5-12, right? Have a sucky draft pick to where we don't get a quarterback, and we're going into the season again with Geno Smith. Like, that's just and I'm cool with reclamation projects, like if they work out. But if it's been consistent sucky, maybe we need to start building through the draft. Maybe we don't get so hurt by Jamarcus Russell that we actually draft a round 1 QB, right? Maybe we keep taking a shot until we hit that position, because obviously that position's important. Like, the modern NFL is built on offense. It's not built on defense. It's not that defense where you feared going across the middle. We have small guys that are 5'10", making tremendous impact in the NFL. Why? Because they can't get hit. We protect the offense at all costs, right? Okay, that's a whole deeper issue. But at this point, I'm wanting all the emails for Gruden to come out because I want the NFL to kind of burn. I want the Raiders to figure out their crap. Like, they're kind of ridiculous. They need to figure it out. 2-7. And they're playing Monday Night Football. And we got ESPN back. Whoop-de-doo. Like, I was actually glad we didn't have ESPN because I didn't have to watch it. Now I'm going to watch it. It's going to suck. They're going to suck. And it's just going to be a suck fest. A suck fest of Raider football. That's what it is. That's where we're at. Raiders suck. They've sucked for years. I'm still a fan, and I'm still gonna watch. But they gotta do something, man. They gotta do something. Like, anyways. So what? Here's what I'm hoping for the rest of the season, right? I'm hoping we just continue to suck to get a higher draft pick because there's no point in winning these useless games. And I don't care about this whole, like, we're not going to tank, there's contracts on the line. You've sucked for years. Just suck harder at this point so we can get a top draft pick and draft a quarterback. Come on, do it. But they're not going to listen to me because I'm just a dude in a spare room talking about Raiders football. However, there is some positives. I do like Ashton Genty. People are trying to build this like narrative bust thing that we probably shouldn't have drafted him at 6 overall, right? Because we had a lot more issues. Like, he's a luxury that I don't think we could afforded to have, right? He's the dominant, and he's going to be legit. I get their thinking, the fact that our offensive line struggled last year. We had no rush. And it's so weird because, like, when Josh Jacobs was there, right, with Antonio Pierce, like, he actually did do well. And it was like a year before. I don't know what they did with the offensive line, but it's progressively gotten worse. And they're trying to address it. It's just everything they're doing is wrong. But I don't know what the solution is. Obviously, the solution is to get more offensive line. We need to build through the trenches, right, so that we can have a dominant offensive line and just run down people's throats. Like, I'm not into this zone thing run. Like, let's run power straight at their faces. They know what we're going to do. Let's hit that gap. A, B, C, whatever gap you want to see. I don't think there's a C gap. Actually, there might be. There might be. I don't know. It's been a while since I played football and actually, like, studied the offensive line. But I'm hopeful. Obviously, the Raiders drafted Jack Betch and Dante Thornton. They're not that great at the current moment. Trey Tucker. They just need to keep feeding Brock Bowers the football. And that was the thing in this game with the Broncos, right, that we lost. It was 10-7, so it was a defensive struggle. But they didn't even force the ball to Brock Bowers. He got 3 targets. And then Ashton Genty, we just stopped running after JPJ got hurt. And maybe it's because, he's our best run blocker. Oh, surprise, surprise. Why have we been making him trying to compete the whole time? Anyway, that's kind of where we're at with the Raiders season. So I'm hoping they win 0 more games and go 12-10. Sorry, no, it'd be 2-15. If we're 2-15, maybe we have a top 5 pick, top 3 pick, and we can get one of these quarterbacks. Mendoza is looking legit from Indiana. Maybe that'll work out. Like, I'm praying. I'm not really praying too hard about it because I have this thing about, like, I don't think God cares about football, and maybe He does. Because maybe there are Christians that are praying and that are playing this sport, so they're doing their best to the Lord. Like, I can see that. But I'm always like, I'm hesitant to pray for my team because I'm like, God has bigger things to worry about. You know what I mean? Like, and He does it. He loves you, so he cares about your things. But I don't think He's going to tip the scale one way or another based on the prayer. And He might. I don't know. Tim Tebow, Tim Tebow seems to have God on his side. What a good guy, Tim Tebow. I seen him on a podcast with Andrew Schultz. And, dude, that guy's just about the Christian life. And it seems crazy just going back when he was in the NFL, how much people hated him just for simply kneeling. Like, that talks about our country. We're soft and we hate Christianity. That's us. We love Muslims. And I'm going way far. Anyways, okay. So, and I also wanted to jump in here and talk about my 3 fantasy football leagues that I'm in. So I'm in one with my buddy. It's his family's league that I'm in. I'm actually doing well in this one. I'm 7-3 right now. And let's go to the league. I'm sitting in 2nd place. I will have a bye just like another guy in that team. So we're killing that. I'm winning this week. So we're looking like we're going to go to 8-3. And that's my Coastal League. Super legit. My team is stacked, and that's a 1-person keeper league. It's not I think it's a redraft league. Okay, let's go to my dynasties. So my dynasties, I've been a little struggling as of late. my Sacco is wacko. I have actually been on a tear the last couple of weeks. I think I've won 3 straight. Let's go. Let's see. And looks like I'm winning this week. It helped that my opponent forgot to replace his QB and his tight end, so I'm getting those benefits. The Lord's looking out for me on this one. But I'm 5-5. I'm sitting at 7th place right now, but it's a really competitive league. So, the top teams, there's 3 7-3 teams, right? And then it's there's 2 6-4 leagues. Then there's 3 5-5 leagues. So we're all within a couple games of each other. At these 7-3 teams, and it looks like one of them is going to lose this week at the current moment. One of them is going to win, and then it looks like 2 of the 7-3 teams are looking like they're going to lose. So that's just going to help with like being more competitive. And I'm winning right now, maybe 5-6. So that's going to be pretty legit. In my league, this is my dynasty that I run. I'm the GM. I have been on 5-5. I started off hot and I've lost like 3 in a row. And like they were like competitive close games, but I've kind of not been great. I'm playing the last place team at the current moment. Looks like I'm going to pull this out because I still have a couple players to play, but he does too. Right now we're sitting at 95-89. Close matchup. Hopefully I pull that one out. I'm sitting at 5-5 in that league as well. But I'm still making the playoffs. I'm at 6th seed right now. So I just need to keep winning and then turning hot during the playoffs. But right now it's not looking great. It is not looking great. And I also want after that little short break, let's jump back to the Raiders. I think Chip Kelly is gone after this season. Like I don't think they retain him. I think he's the fall guy for this abysmal offense. I think Pete gets another year. But I think they fire Chip Kelly, and they continue into year 2 building this veteran Geno Smith team. And we don't draft a quarterback. We draft probably another offensive player. And we just are garbage again next season. And then maybe we get a draft quarterback that time. Pete gets fired. And that's kind of it. That's my kind of prediction. I think Pete continues. What I would want to happen if I was GM, honestly, I want to clean house. I want to focus on the future. I like Pete Carroll, and I was really hyped about him. I thought he was going to be really good, and I thought we were going to be competitive, and it was going to be a culture move. But it seems like, from reading the tea leaves at the current moment, Pete kind of seems like he's beyond his depth at the current moment, and he just kind of seems delusional, right? He's not playing in the rookies. He keeps bringing in veterans, so it's like, I think his ego's involved in this, and like that's it. I think we should just need a clean house. All coaching staff. Patrick Graham needs to go. We need a fresh start, a final fresh start. We bring in a young offensive mind, and hopefully we have a high draft pick to where he can draft a QB, and we build this thing the right way. Because if we put a solid prospect QB of the future with this offensive pieces that we have, and maybe add a few defensive pieces to where we're competitive. Like, I think there's a lot of potential here in this Raiders team. We've just sucked. I don't know if we're cursed. I don't know if there's just... It really makes you wonder what's going on inside the building. Because it seems like people come to the Raiders, they're excited to be a Raider, and then they want to trade out, or they get fired, or they try to leave as soon as possible because it's not working with the regime. And then they ball out, and they do well, and everyone's happier when they leave the Raiders. So there's some type of dysfunction going on in that building. Bad culture ruins people, okay? And obviously we underrate that as fans. We look at the talent and think we think it's Madden sometimes, and we think talent should just find a way to win. But culture matters so much in the football realm. It matters in the locker room. It matters in an organization. If you have a crappy culture, if you have crappy attitudes, if you have people that lose trust in the vision of the leaders, we're humans. We fall apart. We don't follow people that we don't believe in. You know what I mean? That's natural. And that plays such a huge effect on sports, on the ultimate team sport of football. And I think we forget that at times. And so we think we have the talent, but then we have bad culture. And it seems like there's always some type of personality conflict that's happening with the Raiders. Everything promising since I've been a fan of this has gone downhill. 2016, like Derek Carr breaks his leg after having an MVP level season. And Derek Carr was never the same after that. He had fear. He didn't play like fearless like he did. He tried. I think he tried. I love Derek Carr. And this isn't just to bash Derek Carr. I think he would admit it, that 2016 changed a lot for him. And then we had regime after regime. And honestly, I felt bad for him. He had to learn a new offense every single year. And maybe that's the thing with Geno. Maybe he had to learn a new Chip Kelly style offense and he's not getting it. Or maybe Chip Kelly's offense doesn't work in the NFL. He's had a stint with the 49ers and it didn't work. People figured him out. I don't know. What do you guys think? We finally got the ESPN deal back, and I'm jumping all over the place here. And my thing with Disney, and this is going kind of crazy here, but Disney became like the ultimate villain in life. Like, they continue to do the wrong thing. They continue to wage into politic war when they're an entertainment company. Like stay in your lane. Make cartoons, bro. Make entertainment. You have Star Wars and Marvel. Focus on that. But then, and those, they've tanked those, right? And anyways, we're not going to get into that. But like this whole like ESPN, this whole TV package of like where do you find the games? 8 different times. You have to go to Thursday. You have to go to Prime. And then you have some Netflix games during playoffs. And it's just like, it makes you want to just go back to cable. It really does. It makes you want to go back to that simpler time where you just sit through the commercials, but you know you're going to always have your games. But don't get me wrong, YouTube TV is a stellar product. For football specifically, like that 4-screen thing and you get to like watch whatever game you're focused, like, dude, that's legit. We've been wanting that type of vibe from football forever. And now DirecTV doesn't have a stranglehold on YouTube, on NFL Sunday Ticket. So now you can watch every game. And for me, I have to have it just because there's not a lot of time the Raiders are on primetime because they've sucked for so long. And this year, they've had a bunch, but they haven't done anything with that. Anyways, 2-7. I'm hoping for 2-15. Let's lose. Let's lose. No, honestly, if we're competitive, that's fine. Like, I'm not tripping. These guys are going to continue to compete, but I don't know. I mean, it makes me sad for the guys on there, like Mad Max. He gives all his effort, and they just continue to suck. Anyways, I don't have a solution. I'm done talking about it. This has been another episode of Mrradillo's World. Go Raiders.
The autumn wind is a pirate, blustering in from sea. With a rollicking song he sweeps along.